Afternoon, everybody. Hopefully I'm coming through okay. Yep, okay. Afternoon. Nick, how you doing, mate? Paul, good to see you. Good to see you back, guys. Thanks for joining, as always, the regulars. So, markets today, and the theme is markets are still, in my opinion. Kevin, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Yeah, you were on yesterday's stream, right? On A1. Good to see you here. Markets for me still pretty shit. I have to be completely blunt and honest with you. I just got stopped out just before the stream on CAD Swiss. Here, see CAD Swiss trade here. $4 down, $4 in the pan. What can you do, eh? That's trading. I did kind of write it off yesterday. I thought CAD as Ahmed, how you doing? Tian, hey, how you doing, mate? You good? Good, thanks for coming. I did expect that to happen. I thought normally what happens with news is if you have a strong currency pair and you get weak news, sometimes you get that volatility to downside, but it ends up going in that direction. Just didn't happen with CAD this time. You know, I'm not going to blame the market. It's just a losing trade. You know, it's just a losing trade, and ultimately for this 200k. This is for those of you who don't know, I'm doing this FTMO 200,000 funded account. This is my free repeat, so my second time doing it. I'm only down 1%. You know, I'm at basically around 198. I won a Swiss yen trade, but really you're kind of bound by the 30 days that you start your forex or your funded account journey. So you can't really pick. Well, you can pick actually if you've. I think a good tip if you're doing these FTMOs or these funded things are try and pick a market that you think are just about to start. So start your challenge when you see that fluidity. Now I had a free repeat, so I just started my free repeat, and I think the goal here for me now is to get another free repeat. So for my $100 one, which I got, it took me 4 months to get because I was just waiting for those that decent market conditions. Now my personal ethos for these funded accounts is trade your strategy for 4 weeks, and if you get to your 3-4%, that's what I always aim for on my normal account, your 3-4%, and then just go for it. Unless you have a great month. I had a 11% month last month, but when I started my first one, I went through a drawdown, so I ended up going 8% down, and then getting back to a free repeat, and then I've started it here. And unfortunately, the conditions are I don't know if you guys are the same, but for me, trading has been pretty horrible the last 2 weeks, and it's just about sitting on your bum waiting for the right opportunities, and we'll see what we get. But also, things can change very quickly. I have a good week next week. I win 2-3 trades. That's on a 200k account because I risk 2%. That's $12,000, potentially more. And I do think you always aim for that free repeat. Remember, don't do these challenges until you're ready. That's also important, or else you're probably going to be pissing money down the drain. That's not really what you want to do, because this 200k costs $1,300, right? So you don't want to throw away $1,300. You want to make sure you're ready before you start. But yeah, things can change very quickly. So we'll see what happens in the next 2-3 weeks. I'm just about halfway through it now, and aiming for a free repeat as always. So markets today, it's doing what I thought it might do. We had our ABC corrective here, pushed through B wave, had a reaction at these all-time highs, but a nice corrective here in the 4 hour, followed by a very simple bearish engulfer. So we've had 1-2 retests of this area now, push on to these all-time highs, and again we're getting a reaction. This reaction at the moment doesn't look like sellers are taking control, right? So there's a difference between supply taking over or supply zones and sellers taking control, where let's say you see a hammer at this level like this. This is what I consider sellers taking control. But at the moment, we're not really getting a big reaction. So this consolidation phase or pressure into that level, let that 20 period catch up, is my bias for the SPX. I don't think it'll be today. I don't think it'll be tomorrow. I think maybe towards the end of the week, we may see a burst through those all-time highs. In my personal opinion, I'm not going to put my hat into it or my car keys into it, but potentially we see something like that. The 4 hour looks good. The 4 hour is starting to look better and better. The only thing is this daily, it may need a day or two to digest, maybe 1 or 2 days to digest this move, this decent bullish engulfer. Look at that at the 20, simple 20 period. Let that 20 curl up. Remember, I use this 20 simple as just a visual guide for trend. And as a big digestion of this big structure, starting to look better. And I don't want it. I rather have the SPX, I'm talking about the SPX specifically, break in a healthy manner, because that's when you get your fluidity. That's when you get the chance to make some money. And, you know, playing defensive or defensive for Americans out there, it is certainly the best way to go in these things. You're wanting, the first and foremost thing you want to do is protect your capital. And in these situations, for my type of trading, I'm a trend continuation trader, you protect your capital. And in these situations is where you make your money, and you can make a decent bit of it. So for me, my bias, you know, we consolidate around here, let that 20 catch up, show rising pressure. Again, we have to see that rising pressure into a level before a breakthrough all-time highs. But on smaller time frames here, looks quite good, no? Fake out, ABC, my favorite ABC corrective. Where do you think stops might be? Here. Pushing through the area, that actually might not be a bad trade, you know? Just looking at it now, I haven't looked at it for a few hours, but if this breaks through, I'm disregarding this, but we've got a cup with handle ABC here, push through this level, retest this area to go long. You know, that's I'm going to add that to the watch list. Actually, that's not a bad setup. I'm also in the Dow. So the Dow fell off a little bit yesterday. I'm, you know, I've been in this trade for, I don't know how many days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 days I've been in this trade. Looked good yesterday, had another reaction around this supply zone, and maybe it's kind of still in no man's land for me. The trade's in, I can't do anything about it. My trade's on. Not yet. Tiana's got a breakout retest, but it looks good. So yeah, I mean, the trade's in. I still fancy upward movement. Certainly if we get the SPX movement, you think the Dow would follow that. Well, obviously the Dow would follow that. And yeah, I mean, essentially I can't do anything about it. Whatever happens will happen. I still think it's long. We have this resistance area as support to price. We now have this 200 as support to the stop loss. You know, we could be looking at this potentially on the 4 hour. Other traders, again, this is where everybody's different. Other traders look at that as a double top. And you would have actually made money selling simple hammers, right? Trading doesn't have to be complicated. Yeah, Tiana, I agree with you. I just think it's just a bit of a... It just doesn't look great, right? It doesn't look great. You know, I didn't want that to happen, but it's happened. You know, there's obviously sellers coming into this area. If we do get that swing, I don't mind that, because if we do get that swing, right, and I do end up hitting TP, my stop goes straight to the previous swing, so that'll be break even. So it'll be another kind of risk-free trade. So I hope you're right. You know, I hope you're right that that we go up. My bias is up. The daily looks okay. Doesn't look as good as the SPX. I think you can probably agree on that. Doesn't look as nice as the SPX, but I mean, index is up, no? I think after NFP, and let's see, we get a break into all-time highs. I think we get some decent positions. China 50 is still on the watch list. Yeah, it needs some direction, does it? Every push is getting just broken down. You know, every push on that Dow Jones is just getting pushed down, and we really need some institutions, some big boys buying it to get that direction. I think it'll come though. I think it's going to be a winning trade. You know, I could be wrong. Maybe I watch this tomorrow, next day, get stopped out, but I think it's going to be a winning trade. So if I end up winning one, losing one, fine, right? So this China 50. We've touched this resistance area again. The good thing about this China 50, by the way, is when it moves, it really does move. So if you get into a good trade, it can be a very good one. However, this is not, obviously can't be a catalyst for me. I don't take any trades on a doji or what could possibly be what's called a battle bar. A battle bar, if you don't know, is kind of a doji candle. You can have a body like this on high volume. It's basically there's a lot of participation within that candle, whatever time frame it is, but nobody's taking control, right? Sellers and buyers are having that battle between who's winning, and nobody's ending up winning, and you may wait until the next candle to find that direction. However, if this does close possibly like this hammer candle, it's supposed to be a hammer candle, it's not a P, I still wouldn't take that. I don't like hammers that look like this. I much prefer hammers that look like this. So if we get, it's a shit drawing, excuse my language. Anyways, my channel, I can swear, everyone. If I get handers like this on high volume, that for me, my eyes light up. But we'll have to wait and see what we get. Ideally, for this, you get a close down here, and then you get an immediate rejection like this. That for me is ideal, and that's what I want to see tomorrow. Whether we get it or not, it's another story. What else do I like? Euro JPY I kind of like. EJ. The only issue with this on a smaller time frame is this 200, but I don't take breakouts on the smaller time frame, so I'm looking at a breakout retest from this larger pattern. I did say in the morning on the website stream that there was too much clear air here. So one of the things that I do like as a trader is a bit of mess, and I certainly like mess around this area. You know, if I get just a textbook cup with handle like this, I don't like that. I want a bit of mess. Just that kind of coiling effect before a break and retest. So we're getting this now, right? ABC here, push up, tag that level. I'll go into that after, Tian. Tag that level, push through. What I need now is this 200 to continue to the downside. So our retest is roughly around that area with that 20. Yeah, cheers, Nick. Appreciate it. I'll see you in New York. For a catalyst to go long. So EJ, it is on an uptrend. We're going with the trend. There's no extensions there. Looks pretty healthy. The 4 hour possibly corrective over after this bullish engulfer here, possibly. And then a breakthrough. This 20 also would mean possibly a breakthrough that level and a retest of that area. You know, I like that. EJ is okay. EuroCAD. This EuroCAD has been playing with me. Sorry, okay, so how do you get into exotic USD ZAR? What do you mean, Tian? How do I get into the trade, or how do I actually trade it? I'm still in this trade, actually, on my other account. Yeah, what do you mean, Tian? Let me know exactly what you mean, because I'm not sure if you mean how do I trade it, or how do I actually get the chart up. Oh, setup. Okay, so the setup was there. Setup, I've been in this trade for a while. Again, this is not on the 200k funded because I got into it before I started. Head and shoulders. 4, 8, 12, 16 hours of accumulation. I'll zoom in so it's easier to see. So let's see here. I couldn't have taken this break on account of this push down. I could have taken a breakout retest, but I couldn't have taken the break. But because I got this, just that little period here, again 20 period curling down, and was allowed to take that breakout. Right, stops was up here, and you can see as well, you don't know this on the breakout, it's important, but higher volume coming into that break as well was what I'd like to see. And if your stop's too tight here, you would have been taken out. So stop was there, I got allowed to let that corrective move and move down. So here, and actually I think I can show you it. Just so everybody knows I'm not lying to you. This is the trade I'm in on my actual funded account, and I'm looking for a swing here to move it down. USD ZAR, I mean, that's lovely. That's been a nice trade. Ideally, what I would prefer is this, because then I would have moved my stop here to get a bit less risk reward. I mean, because it was quite a large stop. Did you scale in more? No, I don't do that, Tian. I just simply place 2 trades, keep everything simple. I don't like scaling in more, because if I scale in more and it ends up losing, I get annoyed with myself, right? That's MT4 making that noise. So that's why I don't like scaling in. I understand it. I understand the concept of it. Scale into your winners. I get it. But for me, I wouldn't scale in here. I mean, I understand the concept. I just don't like it. It is the best way to say it. I understand the concept. I just don't like doing it. What else do I like? I like pound Swiss. I've been talking about this for a few days now, but this has really got to show me something, and I don't think it will. If it breaks through here, I've got to take this away, and certainly take this setup away, and it's got to reset up to this side. No matter how much I like the pound Swiss long, I've got to trade what I see, and at the moment I'm seeing that stalling momentum, and Swiss actually getting a little bit of strength. Swiss is a difficult one to trade, I think. It's notoriously known as a risk-off currency, but sometimes it doesn't act like it. You know, today's not acting like it either. However, Euro-Swiss is gone. Euro-Swiss is almost a setup. Larger head and shoulders here. Corrective move. Again, with my breakouts, I would just want it a little bit closer. You could have taken that. That's just one that I've maybe would have missed. I would have liked another bar here, but that Euro Swiss was a decent setup. What I can look for now is a retest of this area to go short. And actually, I mean, the reason why I wasn't comfortable taking this breakout, right, is because we have this larger structure here. So normally I like to see around 30 to 50% within this phase. Right, so that's why I just wasn't comfortable taking that breakout on this period of accumulation. Right, with USD ZAR, it was a little bit different because you had a kind of smaller right shoulder. But with this one, because it was quite a large structure, I just wanted a little bit more to go short. But it's okay because, you know, I can go for that retest and see where that goes. So Euro Swiss is okay. Euro Swiss is all right. Pound New Zealand. There's two more that I like, and that's me for the day. Pound New Zealand on this daily is looking good. V reversal, V reversal. Again, I need something like this to get me in it to go long for Pound New Zealand. So this looks quite nice. You know, big V reversal here, and looks like we're reloading. I think it'd be okay for me, right? I don't need a double reload, but it'd be okay for me for something like, that's a bad drawing, something like this. Right, but I need that 20 period close by to take that break long. So I don't mind that either. It's just, you know, at the end of the day, we've tagged this level 3 times, right? We get another tag on it. For me, it's only a matter of time before it breaks on the daily. If we look at the weekly, you know, look at that on the weekly there. That is nice, right? That is lovely on the weekly. 20 period now crossing over that 200. Yeah, I like that. I like that, and hopefully we get a setup in that. But this pound has been a little bit of a nightmare recently. I think you'll probably agree. And it looks strong and then it gets weak very quickly. But that's just kind of market conditions. And finally, this 225. This 225 is nice as well. Had our fake here. Had our fake. Come back down. This looks good. I can potentially take this trade at the end of the day. I want to see if we get what's called that bullish 180. Right, you get that bullish 180, 1 or 2 bars here. I would take that trade long. So if you are a member of RTFX, remember, I'll post all the actual signals I take there. But this I kind of like. You know, we're possibly breaking out of this corrective here. We are on an uptrend. Same with all the indexes. I like them long. And this 225 I do like. I had a decent trade in it a little bit of time ago, and it's the same like the China. When it goes, it really goes. So that's what I do like. And I think looking at my profit now, the Dow might be moving a little bit. Is there anything you? Oh, somebody told me about Swiss yen. Swiss yen. Swiss yen I got stopped out of. I had this trade. This is nice. Look at this on Swiss yen. That's a rising 3, right? One of the patterns I really like to see, a kind of igniting pattern. Ideally, the volume signature. So ideally, this is okay that the volume comes on the end bar because that's probably for me the most important bar. But ideally, this initial candle has higher volume as well. So we get high volume, lowering volume within the 3 candles. But that as you know, price action, that's a really nice rising 3 for me. And as I said, known as an igniting. Why is my thingy not coming off? An igniting pattern. Swiss yen looks now good to the upside. I'm just unfortunately not in it. I don't trade the Nasdaq, TN. I never have. But see, I've got the UK 100. The UK 100. I presume you're long, right? Looks okay long at the moment. I mean, it's not quite something I would take. This is the UK 100, remember? Uptrend, on a daily uptrend. UK 100. Actually, let's see if I can find it on TradingView. I'll try and do that. I'll do the Nasdaq and then I'll finish it. But I'll look at it on TradingView. I don't actually use TradingView. Do you guys use TradingView, or are you all MT4? Let's look at the Nasdaq. I'm just getting it up. Nasdaq daily uptrend, obviously. That chart I don't like. I don't like these charts at all. That's why I don't trade stocks. I hate gaps. I hate looking at charts like this with gaps. So for me, you know, from how I know, I much prefer looking at this. TradingView for analysis, but execute. The only thing, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but on TradingView, can you put every time frame into one screen? So for me, I like seeing all the time frames, right? Because it just gives me a very clear multi-time frame analysis view. Can you do that on TradingView? You know, oh, you can. All right, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I've just never used it. I know it's very popular now, but only with paid subscription. All right, okay, fair enough. Yeah, well, to be honest, I'm not the best person to ask for ASDEC. To be honest, Tian, I just don't trade it, and I wouldn't be very comfortable giving my thoughts on this. I don't know if that's even the right ticker. I've just never traded it. 10 or so a month. That's not bad, actually. Yeah, for me, I've just always learned in MT4 that this for me is comfortable. But I guess it's what you like. I think I'm one of the minorities now that use it. A lot of people call it MT poor, but for me it just works, you know. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you coming to watch. I'm not gonna keep talking when there's nothing else to talk about it. I do like some of those setups. I think the JP 225 looks good for today. Euro Swiss potentially tomorrow for a retest. What else do I like? Euro JPY potentially for a retest, and look at the China 50 tomorrow. But apart from that, that's it. You know, I've just got to let it run. I'm not gonna try and force a trade. That's important. I know, even though I've lost CAD Swiss and I'm technically 1% down, it is only 1%, but I'm not gonna force it. And when that fluidity comes, you know, I want to make my money there, and go on from there. So, is anyone also, before I go, has anyone done these FTMOs? Has anyone tried a funded account? Just out of interest. Or did anyone know about it before? Did anyone know that you could actually do this? No, you never tried it. Okay. Yeah, do you know what? I didn't even know about it until probably about 2 years into it. And then it kind of opened my eyes, thinking, oh shit, yeah, I'd much rather do that than trade off my money. I think it's, you know, it's certainly, that's what I always, yeah, fair enough, Kevin. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, learn how to trade first. And the good thing is, don't lose all your money when you're learning how to trade, because just always think to yourself, okay, how much, what am I going to make? Think about percentage return. Even if you're trading off $500, if you're making 5%, think of it in the terms of a, you know, 100 grand funded, 300 grand funded. That 5% is 15 grand. So, you know, after I pass this, I'll have 300 grand funded. I'm just going to keep doing it and doing it. So anyway guys, I appreciate you joining. I'm here every day at 1, and I'll see you all tomorrow, I guess. Cheers, guys. You joining?